This is a continuation of the 6th week of online English lessons for the grade 10 pupils of St. Patrick's CBC in Kimberley, South Africa. Welcome back to your virtual classroom grade 10s. I trust that you are doing well and are now comfortably into the swing of things. You are able to catch up lessons on my YouTube channel, Mrs. M Teaches English. You can also get hold of me via Edmodo, WhatsApp, or Zoom. Today, the focus of this lesson is the second scene in Act 4, where we see the terrible attack on Macduff's castle. You need your textbook, notebook, and other stationery, and you need to see Act 4 for yourself. Remember that Shakespeare was meant to be watched, not read. For a short period of time, the Globe production of Macbeth is available on YouTube. Please make an effort to watch this version of the play. It's a particularly accessible production. I recommend it highly. In this lesson, we'll go over the answers to the questions on Act 4, Scene 1, and then we'll study Scene 2. Please have your answers ready from the questions asked in the previous lesson. Remember that the answers that follow are suggestions. It's quite possible that you have a different point. If you're unsure, you're more than welcome to check your answers with me. The evil atmosphere is created by the stage setting. It's dark, there's thunder and lightning, and there are witches. It's the setting of a stereotypical horror story. The chanting of the witches, the bubbling cauldron, and the arrival of Hecate ensure that the audience is fully aware that nothing pleasant can occur on stage at this moment. This is an easy question, and you should all have been able to list these 4 visions without a problem. The important aspect of this question is that you should have used at least 4 quotations to show Macbeth's responses to each of the apparitions. There's a mixture here of confusion, disbelief, and confidence. Make sure that you pay attention to the detail required here. Persuasive language techniques are a feature of this play. You will remember how we analyzed this in Act 1. You are required to do the same here with the witches. Macbeth's personality undergoes a number of changes in the play. Here, he appears as a man in charge, a man of action. Let's have a look at the second scene of this act. Turn to page 116 in your textbook. This scene opens with Lady Macduff and her rather precocious son in conversation. She seems somewhat annoyed that her husband has fled to England, leaving his family in Fife. A witty exchange between mother and son serves to focus our attention on the notion of betrayal and traitors. Of course, this is a theme that runs through the play. Macduff's son makes the point that at some time, every person will tell a lie or betray someone. There is no perfect human being. No one can say that they are innocent of these sins. A messenger warns Lady Macduff that she and her family are in grave danger. Macbeth's murderers rush in and attack the family. Macduff's son tries to protect his mother, but is killed. Lady Macduff is dragged off stage and murdered out of sight of the audience. Why do you think this is? It should remind you of the staging of the murder of King Duncan. On the next slide, we return to the classroom of Mark Birch and listen to his analysis of this scene. Take accurate notes as you listen carefully to the information, pausing the video where necessary so that you can write good quality, detailed notes in your notebooks.
Hi, this is Mark Birch with a quick revision of Macbeth Act 4, Scene 2. Macbeth's third crime is depicted on the stage, making it even more horrific because the audience can't avoid the kind of visceral impact of witnessing this mother and child being murdered. And its horror is made even more shocking by allowing the audience to engage with Macduff's son and wife before the murder. We get a sense of their feelings, we get a sense of their characters, and therefore we feel more when they're murdered. Lady Macbeth criticises her husband to Ross, saying that he's essentially abandoned her, his babies, his mansion, his titles, to disappear off to England. But Ross defends Macduff. He says he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. In other words, he understands the vagaries of what's going on in Scotland at this time, so there must be a reason why he's departed from his castle. Macduff's son's also presented very favourably by Shakespeare. He displays humility, bravery and wit, exploring the extended metaphor of him as a bird by stating that he will survive on what he can get and that he need not fear being trapped because he's too skinny to bother with. Poor birds they're not set for. We should therefore feel a huge amount of sympathy for this character, and his murder's going to be even more appalling as a result. Having been warned about the danger posed by the advancing murderers, Lady Macduff considers philosophically the state of the world, where to do harm is often laudable, to do good sometimes accounted dangerous folly. And this parallelism is clearly an allusion to the notion of fair is foul and foul is fair, another parallelism, because Lady Macduff is recognising that there's moral uncertainty. Harming someone is often laudable, praiseworthy, and doing good is sometimes dangerous folly. Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Macduff's son's bravery is evident in the way in which he defends his father's honour. After the first murderer accuses Macduff of being a traitor, his son says, "Thou liest, thou shag-haired villain." There follow a number of references to fish eggs in relation to Macduff's son. What, you egg, young fry of treachery, emphasising how young the boy is, making again his murder even more terrible. And finally, to reinforce this, the boy's final thoughts are for his mother, not himself. An interesting contrast to Macbeth in the previous scene, where Macbeth had displayed his absolute selfishness, being prepared to destroy the world as long as it fulfilled his aims. Okay, ta.
Although this scene is tragic, I find myself giggling inappropriately every time I hear the murderer's words to Macduff's son. "What, you egg, young fry of treachery?" I can't be the only person who pictures a full English breakfast at this point, can I? Fried eggs? Sorry, that's just silly. Here are your 5 questions for Act 4, Scene 2. Question 3 expects you to see the juxtaposition between Lady Macduff and Lady Macbeth as maternal beings. It's very clear who is the better mother, isn't it? Question 5 could have been asked after the murder of King Duncan as well. Please write your answers in your notebooks, skipping 2 lines between each answer so that you can add additional information when we go over the answers together. Key quotes from this scene appear on this slide. Take note of them, memorize them if you can, and use them in your essay answers. Don't forget to keep updating your notes on these 5 themes. There we have it, the second scene of Act 4. There's just one more scene to go in this act. I look forward to our next lesson, grade 10s. Until then, wash your hands, wear your masks, and please help around the house. Goodbye.